All right, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to season 5, episode 1 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking in everything surrounding sports. Here with me this week, we got Huff and a Beak, returning member. We're excited to have him here for week 1. No Ace and Mackie here this week, but we're excited to dive in again to these week 1 games. Let's introduce my co hosts and get right into it. Huff, let's get started. What do you got for us here coming into week 1?
Yeah, football's in the air. We just had week one college football come and go. We had some great games this past week. Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson. That was a great matchup on Saturday night. We move right into the NFL season. Thursday night, we get Cowboys, Eagles, a divisional matchup. A full slate this Sunday. Not to forget Chiefs and Chargers, our Brazil. I think it's in Brazil game on Friday. So football all weekend, all the time right now. Best time of year. Everyone's 0-0. Everyone's team has hopes. Clearly, except Ace because he chose to not be here. He doesn't want to have to defend his Patriots going into week one. I understand. I'd hide behind the curtains too if I was a New England fan. But I'm excited for football. We got a Beak here. We're ready to talk some ball. What do you think of Beak?
Hell yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Heck yeah, we're excited to have you, Beak. Huff, thank you for joining us here this week. The time has finally come. We're through the entire offseason, the entire preseason, and now time for the NFL regular season, the best time of the year. Hopes are high, dreams are still floating. Before we get down to brass tacks, let's jump into these games here for week 1. Starting out Thursday night football, Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles the favorite here, spread up to 8.5 points. I've seen as low as 7, total at 47.5. Eagles heavy favorite on the money line here. Beak, do you want to get us started here on this Thursday night football game?
Hell yeah. The defending champions banner night. So I feel like this could be a game that a letdown could happen. People just can't seem to underestimate that. Yeah, Micah Parsons got traded, but Dak Prescott is still breathing, and barring an injury, they should be able to compete. So I'm just not sure why the spread is so high than it is, because 8.5 is suggesting Dak and CD aren't playing, but the fact is they are playing. So I don't see what the gap is, what Vegas thinks the gap is, because that gap suggests the Cowboys are a 4 or 5 win team, not a 8-9 win team that most people think they could be.
Yeah, and the Eagles obviously won't even be on the field for their own championship ceremony, which is kind of crazy to me. Sirianni tried to brush off and tell the media, "Oh, this Thursday we're raising the banner on Thursday." He tried to like play dumb. Like, come on, dude, you knew that was going to happen. That's how every team does their championship ceremony. I'm not on the Eagles here. I think Mackey's Dallas Cowboys can keep things close. I don't like the 8.5. I do like the under and the spread. So I'm going to tease those two plays. You get the Cowboys at 8.5. You get the under 47.5. Tease them both up 6 points. It's Cowboys plus 14 and the under at 53 and even 53. I think a divisional matchup in the prime time, first game of the year. I could see both of these teams start slow. I just think getting the division underdog at 14 points in an under, I like this spot, even if it is a banner night. I think the crowd will be crazy in Philly. Football's back. The defending champions, go Birds, the whole Philly 9 yards. But I just think the Eagles start a little slow here. I think they get the win, but I give me the Cowboys to keep it in a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I definitely like the under here, Huff. I love that teaser opportunity, getting that up to 53 points. That's so many points for a week 1 game, Thursday night football. Notorious low scoring games, 2 powerhouses here. I mean, Beak, you made a great point that the spread definitely indicates that Vegas, for some reason, thinks the Cowboys are
Or
not in the right spot here for
or is
whatever
that
reason.
is that I mean, this was 7 or 6.5 maybe a week, 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
before Parsons got traded. I
Oh,
mean,
true.
he could truly be that good that they were like, the Eagles are now just gonna run all over him and do whatever they want on defense. But I think if this is a shootout, the Cowboys can hang in this. They just brought in my boy George Pickens. They have CeeDee Lamb. And a lot of people they're catching flack for their running backs, Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, and Miles Sanders, another Pittsburgh kid. I kind of like that little backfield. One of those guys is going to give you some productive carries, and that'll lead into I like Javonte Williams' first touchdown score, 12-1.
Any props, Beak?
I definitely want to say Hurts first team touchdown
I
for the
like that.
Philadelphia
Tush push
Eagles.
to start things off.
Yep.
Let me see
Can't
what
go
the odds
wrong.
are on that.
Yeah.
It was plus 270 when I checked at work at like
Hurts
4:30.
plus 325 first team on MGM. I
That ain't
like
half
that.
bad.
That has way more of a chance of hitting than mine.
Lots to look forward to there in the Thursday night football game there. Cowboys and Eagles here in week 1. But let's jump into our game here on, is that on Friday or Saturday? Saturday.
Friday. Friday
Friday. On
night.
Friday night in Brazil. Chiefs and Chargers here. Chiefs are the favorite, just 3 points for them. Money line at -175. Chargers at a +145 on the money line. Total at 46.5. Any thoughts on this game?
This game is kind of scaring me. A lot of people have a lot of faith in these Chargers this year. Me being one of them. I'm waiting for Justin Herbert to make that next step where, can he beat Patrick Mahomes out for an AFC West title? A lot of people saying the Chiefs are going to be on a down year. I listen to Pittsburgh sports radio all the time in the car. The conversation today was, could the Steelers and Chiefs have the same record this year, saying the Steelers are maybe a game or two better at 10-7 to 11-6, and the Chiefs' floor being around there. I don't even think that's a conversation. I don't think that really even makes sense either way. I'm going to keep my faith in these Chiefs until they prove me otherwise. Yeah, they got bodied in the Super Bowl by the best team in the league, which I think everyone or most people thought was going to happen. A lot of people were picking Philly in that game. Everyone was going against the Chiefs, wanted to see the Chiefs lose. In this game, I think I got to go with the Chiefs -3. Neutral site. Give me the better quarterback. Give me the team that's more experienced in these kinds of games. I don't know what's going on with these Chargers. They just lost Rashawn Slater. I love Justin Herbert. I didn't like the move to bring Keenan Allen back. I don't really think that moves the needle at all. Lad McConkey's a stud. I think he'll get in the end zone, but give me the Chiefs -3. And this could be a very close game where a Chiefs win and the Chargers cover on that 3-point spread. I could see this fall in that, but I like the Chiefs.
Beak, what are you thinking?
Chiefs too. These neutral site games get really messy, but it it's really a test for the Chiefs to see if they can rebound from getting their asses handed to them by the Eagles. I want to
That's
say though,
another good point. I don't think the Chiefs I'd love to know the last time the Chiefs lost back-to-back games. Even including a playoff game in their season opener.
I probably couldn't tell you to be honest,
Yeah,
but
I bet it's been a very long time that they've
I
lost 2 straight.
I would say though that I think either Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown is going to be good for one long touchdown catch from Pat. Honestly, Kelsey, I could so see Kelsey regaining form this week.
I'm probably gonna be betting Kelsey anytime in this game, +160. You said Worthy +130. I'll go through a couple of these. McConkey, I also said I like it +155. And then Marquise Brown, you said +200. Yeah, I think we're both on the Chiefs here. I don't have any opinion on the score. These neutral site games. There was a thing with the London unders and the Lunder and all that stuff. I'm gonna avoid it in Brazil. I don't like a play on the total here.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough game here, like you guys keep saying. Neutral site, always up in the air, messy, like you said, a beak. Um, I don't know what I like on this game. Definitely stay tuned for our picks here on Instagram and Twitter for these games. Thursday coming out midday, Friday coming out midday, and Sunday as well. But let's keep on moving through this week 1 slate here. Cardinals and Saints to start off our 1 o'clock slate on Sunday. Saints at home, but the Cardinals are the favorite here, 6.5 points. Total at 43. Abik, you want to get us started on this matchup?
Not one of the best games of the week, but
I was gonna say we couldn't have started with a worse 1 o'clock game. I mean,
not
it's the order MGM has them, and you're good.
not one of the best 1 o'clock games. But I could see a Saints upset here because Kyler Murray's just been very inconsistent over his, I don't know, 5-6 years now. I'd say it's one week he could be a world beater, and then the next week he could be a Daniel Jones of the
Yeah,
Midwest. But I will say though, Saints are projected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. Spencer Rattler starting, so I would definitely want to start this Cardinals defense. You're needing a defense this week in fantasy football, but I think the Cardinals should be able to cover the spread at, I think, -6.5 and run away with the victory. Week one.
I I hate this game. This is ugly. I hate laying that many points with a team like the Cardinals. I don't see this Saints team put up many points. This Cardinals defense is kind of pesky. They have some pieces. They brought in Josh Sweat from the Eagles. I don't know if that was this year or last year, but getting a new piece in him. They still have guys like Buda Baker out there, and some other young pieces on that defense. I'm going to take the under here, 43, and just hope this is an absolute crapshoot like it's supposed to be.
Yes, like you guys said, definitely not a great game to start the week 1 slate here and for the 1 o'clock slate, but we have lots more games to look forward to. Nothing on me for this matchup here, but the next one we have is Bucks and Falcons in Atlanta. The Bucks are the favorite here, 2.5 points. Money line for the Bucks at -130. Falcons at +110. The total sitting at 47.5. Huff, you want to get us going on this one?
Yeah, I like the Falcons here. I think this is I never like the divisional matchups week one. I always hate if my team has it. I can't remember the last time the Steelers have had one. I feel like it's been a minute, but the week one divisional matchups are so tough. Right off the bat, you're playing an even more crucial game. You know, these matter for your division records at the end of the season, all of that. My rule in divisional games is in a 3-point spread, give me the home team, especially in this spot. Home dog, getting 2.5 points or plus 110 on the money line. Michael Penix, Drake London, Bijan, look for him to get in the end zone at minus 170 on the anytime. Maybe take that first for a little bit of value there. He's sitting at plus 450 there. I like the Falcons here for no reason other than I think the entire of all of America is going to be on Tampa Bay here. A lot of people love the Bucks coming into this year. If you are, nothing against it. They're definitely the better team. This is just one of those games where I could see everyone have Bucks money line in their parlay. They think they're the better team. How are they only minus 130? Atlanta squeaks out a last minute win.
A beak, lay it down for us. What do you got?
Like Huff said, Tampa Bay is overall the better team when you compare the two. But if I see Tampa Bay on, the most bet team of the week one slate, that's an automatic.
Yeah, you got to avoid it.
But
I guarantee this Bucks minus 2.5 will be one of the top 5 spread bets this week.
absolutely.
Just because on paper you look at it, you're like, oh, Bucks 2.5, get week one, they're all healthy. Mike Evans, like, I think this Falcons team got better. I like the pieces I like that kid they brought in from Tennessee on defense, that they traded up to get. I'm blanking on his name right now, but they have a little bit of a defense down there. Obviously, the offensive weapons I named Bijan, Penix, and London. I'm a big fan of London. So I look for maybe him to get in as well. I think this could be a little bit higher scoring as well.
Total set at 47.5. I could definitely see a higher scoring game, especially compared to the rest of these 1 o'clock games for sure.
I have a
Um,
soft spot for these Falcons. Last year, I was taking Drake London anytime and first all the time. It was hitting, but his anytime's always like plus 150, plus 160. This game, it's plus 140. So, something I might have to keep my eye on going into Sunday.
I like it, Huff. Yeah, Falcons definitely a sneakier team here. Like you guys keep saying, Tampa Bay, better of the two, but definitely keep an eye out for those Falcons as they approach this season here. But we got another 1 o'clock matchup here. Panthers and Jags. Jags at home and the favorite here, 3.5 points for them, minus 190 on the money line. Panthers plus 155. Total sitting at an even 47. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Abik?
This, ironically, I have nothing for, but I know the Panthers are projected to be one of the comeback teams of the year. So it'll be interesting to see if Bryce Young can continue his momentum from the end of last year. And then along with the debut of Travis Hunter and the second year of Brian Thomas Jr., I could see the Jags winning this because overall on paper, the Jaguars are the better talented team. But it'll probably won't be one of those like close 23-20,
Yeah.
24-21. And I'm really interested to see how the Jaguars deploy Travis Hunter because all summer they've been hyping up. Oh, he can play both ways. What's the
They
snap
said
split and all that?
on their depth chart. They said he was listed wide receiver 2 and cornerback 3. So he's basically the receiver 2 behind Thomas, and then defense. I think he'll come in packages. I'm on the same side. I think the Jaguars handle business here. I think this is the year where I maybe like the Jaguars to push the Texans for that division. I think out of everyone in that division, obviously Colts and Titans aren't not a lot of people are expecting much from them, but this Jaguars team, I think they kind of are starting to get in a groove with what they have done there. I don't know what we're going to expect from Liam Cohen, the new head coach. First year with him, but a guy I like that I was attacking in all my fantasy leagues was Travis Etienne. I think what Liam Cohen did last year with Bucky Irving and Rashad White, I could see a very similar situation this year with Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne, getting both of them in the end zone, simplifying the game down near the goal line. I like the Jaguars minus 3.5 here. I don't know if I'm going to bet it though. Seems a little too easy. I think this should be closer to 4.5, but I'm going to stay away. But I'm leaning the Jags minus the 3.5.
Another interesting matchup there. I think I like the Jags as well, but in one of those tough games, like Beak said, Carolina's going to be possibly the comeback team of the year. Jags just not all there, in my opinion, all the time. Maybe most of the time, but not all the time. But definitely something to look forward to here as we continue through our slate here. Another 1 o'clock matchup here. Handful left. Bengals and Browns here at home in Cleveland, but the Bengals are the favorite here. 5.5 points for them. Their money line at -250. Browns at +200 total at 47.5. Baker Mayfield coming out and saying that he hopes for the Browns to be scoreless every year.
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
Oh God, I can't believe I said Baker Mayfield. I hate myself.
For a second, I was like, "Wait a second, Baker said this too?"
I'm so dumb. I know it was Manziel, and I pictured him in my head. Anyways, Abik, start us out on this one, please. What do you got?
This is as much as people think that the Bengals should be able to run away with this due to the Browns' issues all across the board. Wouldn't surprise me if the Browns had win this because the Bengals are notorious for slow starts, and they played Joe Burrow and Jamar in the preseason to make sure they weren't rusty when the
They
season
were
started.
ready.
I took a Burrow to win MVP future because I really think this is a team that's going to be scoring 40 plus, but giving up 50. So it wouldn't surprise me if Burrow threw for 4,800 or 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns, but have a losing record. The Bengals should run away with this, but would not surprise me if Flacco beat the Bengals this week.
Yeah, this is tough. This is going to be everyone's survivor pick. I think it's a safe one. I don't think the Bengals lose this game. I'm not personally in any survivor pools this year, but this would probably be my pick. I know it would be a popular one. I don't see a situation where the Bengals lose this game. They're looking at this like a playoff game, the way they've started seasons the past couple of years. I just think they're able to do just enough. I think they can cover that spread. If they win, I think it gets ugly. Jamar Chase, maybe 100 yards, a tud, maybe two. I could see this get out of hand for the Bengals. So if I have a play on this one all day, it's Bengals -5.5. As square as it sounds, I just can't get myself to do the Browns +5. It's not enough points. I'd want like 9.5 with that Browns team right now.
Yeah. Can't forget, still the Battle of Ohio. I mean, these teams are still both just battling. Um, week one, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this
It's not
Browns
a lot of
team looks
points.
like with Flacco.
Yeah. It's not a lot of points. Can't Flacco's one of those guys that I feel like every time I bet against him, he fucking tells me off.
That's the other thing is I'm like he's one of those dudes like you just said that it wouldn't shock me if they covered this game. It wouldn't shock me if they won this game.
Right.
It's a divisional game too. I said I usually like the home teams, home dogs in divisional matchups. I just can't do it with Cleveland this year. I don't like anything they have going for them. I guess their defense maybe, but like I there's too many unknowns on offense.
Definitely a tough one there. Divisional matchup. But we got more to go over here. Another 1 o'clock matchup here. Miami Dolphins, Indianapolis Colts. Colts at home as well as the favorite. Just 1 point on the spread for them. -110 both ways on the money line. Total at 46.5. Huff, you want to start us here? What do you think about the Colts and the Dolphins?
This is my most confident play of the week. I will be taking the Indianapolis Colts on the money line right here, -110, a pick'em spot at home. First game since Jim Irsay died in Indianapolis. It's not why I'm betting it. I just thought of that. Colts, though, here's my idea on the Colts. I think this may be the best roster Daniel Jones has had since the year he took the Giants to the playoffs. I'm not going to say that he's going to compete in the AFC. Not only is he in a tough division, we have splits to the Texans twice a year, and I think this Jaguars team is going to be good. Again, don't expect anything from the Titans, but I could see this Colts team pick up a couple wins and be in that 6 some win picture, midway or halfway late in the season where they're in that graphic where they could be on the bubble. This is a crazy take. A lot of people are going to say this is crazy. I'm not saying they're getting in. I'm saying they're going to win some games. I don't like anything the Dolphins have going on right now. I know they have Tua. I know they have Tyreek. They just got Minka back. He's a shell of himself at this point of his career, but I love the Colts here at home. I really do. I think I think there should be a little bit more of a field goal. Give the Colts a field goal at home. Say they win by 2.5. I'm going to take them on the money line -110.
I like that. Abik, what are you thinking?
This Miami team has been in the news way too much during the offseason. Tyreek and his ex-wife and alimony and A-Chain with a calf strain and Tua.
That's the other thing. Is A-Chain playing in this game?
They said he's practicing, so we don't know yet, but
He's -145 to score a touchdown, so MGM thinks he's playing.
Tua's one hit away from being permanently brain damaged, and as soon as that happens again, Miami's toast. So I would not be surprised if Miami's picking in the top 5 this year again.
This one's for Ursa. Colts all day.
I like it. I think that's a very solid play. Great value there. But let's keep moving here. Another 1 o'clock matchup. Giants and Commanders in DC. Commanders the favorite here. 6 points for them. There are minus 275 on the money line. Giants plus 225 total at 45.5. Abik, you want to start us on this one?
This one I feel like is going to be a sneaky division game compared to the Cowboys and Eagles. Granted, the Giants are still the Giants, but -6 early with some of the improvements the Giants have made on defense. I could so see this being a 13-10, 14-10 type of game. I'm just more concerned with Russell Wilson and if, how he plays, because based off of what he did last year, didn't really shake any confidence in people. I rather they would have just played Jameis this year. At least it would have been entertaining. But I could so see this game, the Giants winning this game. And I also, as a bold prediction, I want to say the Commanders are not going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to be one of the teams that don't make it from last
I
year's
have
field.
the sophomore slump for Jaden, or you just think the team around him?
I think a mix of both, because I feel like
Yeah.
once somebody always has a good first year, once the tape is out on him,
I
the
mean, it's
next
even
year
going to
they're
be hard
not
for
as
him to
good.
replicate what he did last year. Like last year was crazy for a rookie, or let alone a second-year quarterback. So, but you were preaching to the choir there. I like the Giants +6. I'm a Russell guy. He was always my guy. I'm going to defend him. That's not why I'm taking the Giants here. Another divisional spot. I'll take the dog to keep it close. I don't think I think Commanders, like you just said, that's definitely a hot take. A lot of people are big on them this year. What's year two of Jaden Daniels look like? I think he is an elite quarterback. So I don't know what to expect from this team. They didn't do a ton. I guess they brought in Debo Samuel, and I don't know what's going on with their running backs. Everyone's big on this Krosky Merritt kid. He just got listed as the fourth running back on their depth chart. Austin Eckler's still their starter. I don't love their ground game outside of Jaden's legs, but I'm going to go with the Giants +6 to keep this close.
I like it, boys. Lots of good stuff there for this divisional matchup here. But we got the big one here, one of the last 1 o'clock games that we need to talk about. Steelers and Jets here. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields in New York. Steelers are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Steelers -150 on the money line, +125 for the Jets. Total at 38.5. Notoriously low total for all these Steeler games that I've been looking at here this year. Huff, get us started. What do you think's going to happen in week one for the Steelers?
I like I don't know, Beak. Who are you a fan of? I forget.
Giants.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure it wasn't the Jets because I knew it was one of the New York teams. So I don't know what the Jets are doing with Justin Fields. I've seen clips of him in the offseason. I was very, very confident that I did not want the Steelers to bring him back. I still am standing by that, whatever that meant, getting Rodgers. Ace likes to bring that up that he'd rather have Justin Fields. I disagree. I don't think Justin Fields gives us much of a difference. If anything, I think that we have a better chance with Rodgers in this game. Going up against his old team, laying 3 points on the road is always scary, though. I think the Steelers pull it out. -3 at +100. I'd like to get the -2.5, -115 or -120. I think the Steelers get the win here on the road to start the season. These are games they have to win. Their schedule is very backloaded. The question here is Cam Hayward going to play? We know we're without Derek Harmon for the first 6 weeks of the year. I look for DK Metcalf to make a statement in his first game. Jonnu Smith is another play I like, maybe as a first touchdown. I've been waiting to see these odds posted. Are they finally posted? Yes. Okay. Jonnu Smith, first touchdown, 16-1. I really like that. Caleb Johnson +850, I think, is another good one there. I might take both. I think that's a great price on both of those, but give me the Steelers to handle business in MetLife. I think this one's personal to Rodgers.
I like it, Abik. What are you thinking here for this week one matchup?
All offseason, I've been telling, friends, colleagues that like this is gonna be a total Jets move if Rodgers in his final year. We assume final year goes for like 4,500 and like 30 touchdowns.
It turns back the clock. Yeah.
It'll be a total Jets move. And honestly, I might just hammer all his props on Sunday because I feel like he's gonna want to prove something. Because last year he was not the issue. It was
Dude, all his props are so low. He said it like 22 touchdowns for the year.
no. I know he wants to light them up because
People think he's going to get hurt. I think that's why all his props are so low. Everyone thinks he's not going to play all 17 games.
the way Glennon, the GM, disrespected him, I feel like he's gonna want to go for like 200 and like
Yeah.
3 touchdowns on Sunday and just light their ass up.
I want him to bring back the discount double check. I think that'll get some swagger back.
Yes.
Please. That'd be terrific. Well, it sounds like we're all on the Steelers side of this game. I'm excited for this one. Excited for the Steelers to get back in the realm. Excited for week 2 for when we finally get to a game, Huff, after that wedding. Um, but lots to look forward to there. And we got one final 1 o'clock game here: the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots. Again, Ace not here to defend his Patriots in this wonderful matchup. Patriots are the favorite here, though. 2.5 points at home. Their money line at -150. Raiders at +125, and the total at 43.5. Abik, do you want to start us out here? What do you think Ace would say right now?
He'd be like, "Go Patriots, go Patriots." Drake May's the answer.
That was great.
Oh my god! But who do you like here?
This one is easily gonna be Patriots at home, but I can so see the Raiders pulling the upset here. Granted, I don't know how much bringing in Rabel moves the needle for the Patriots, but this is gonna be a close game also. But logically, the Patriots should win this, and as the Patriots are my survivor pick of the week. But I could so see the Raiders covering or perhaps upsetting with Geno Smith at the helm.
Yeah, I'm. This is nothing against the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to be good, not this year. I think they could get 7 wins. Kind of that same picture. I think they'll be better than the Colts. The way I just explained the Colts to be in that picture, I just think they're going to be one of the teams on the outside looking in at the end of the season. But this game, I look at this, I'm like, the Patriots have to handle business here. There's too much unknown with the Raiders right now that I don't think I'm going to touch this game this week because I don't know what Pete Carroll's going to look like with this new team. Ashton Genty, like who knows what he's going to look like in the pros. Maybe take him to score. That'd be a fun one. They brought in obviously Geno Smith under quarterback. Like so many positions have changed with this Raiders team. They brought in some pieces on defense. I'm interested to see how they look. I'm shocked they're only getting 2.5 points. I thought this, when I look at this, everyone talks about how bad the Raiders are supposed to be this year, bottom of the AFC West. I'd look at this game and say, they're getting 3.5, 4 points. Only 2.5 is tough here. I really don't know on this one. What's a Genty anytime touchdown?
Let's see.
Minus 115. I'll take that. That's my pick on this game.
Minus
-115.
115.
Yeah. On
Interesting.
MGM. Yeah, that's my pick on this game.
Well, solid stuff there, boys. That's going to wrap up our 1 o'clock slate here. Jumping into our 4 o'clock slate here, another game that people I think will be picking in their survivor pools. Broncos and Titans. Broncos at home here. They're the favorite. 8 points for the Broncos. Big favorites on the money line, but the total sitting at 42.5. What do you guys think about this one?
I kind of like the 8 points for the Broncos. I think this is a very tough first game for Cam Ward to come in on the road, Mile High Stadium, not an easy place to play, not an easy defense to go against either. Arguably the best defense in the NFL. I expect a lot from this Broncos team this year. Definitely a playoff team. I think they come out of the gates blazing. I think Sean Payton's excited about the tools he has on offense to use. He just got that running back, RJ Harvey, I believe is his name, that I think Broncos fans are very excited about. Another year with Bo Nix, who knows what that could mean. I'd look for him to run one in this game. I took him as a fantasy quarterback, a guy I really wanted this year. I like the Broncos -8. I think this could be the 31-10 game of the week. So also sitting right at that total. I didn't even plan that. That's kind of crazy. 42.5.
What do you think, Beak?
Yeah, this one's gonna be a tough one for Cam Ward, but Broncos.
I think you can't. There's no harder defense to go against right now. Like this, Eagles, Steelers. Like you want to start against. You're in that division. Like they were probably hoping they played the Colts week 1.
Yeah, start them off easy, but Broncos should run away with this.
Yeah, getting thrown right into the fire in Denver. Can't breathe. I think it's a tough spot.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff there. I think a lot of people are going to be taking the Broncos in that in their survivor picks pools. I don't think that's a bad pick, but I don't know. Titans never surprised me, but we'll see what the Broncos do. All right, let's keep going through the 4 o'clock slate here. 49ers and Seahawks. The 49ers are the favorite here. 2.5 points for them. 135 on the money line. Seahawks +115, and the total sitting at 43.5. Beak, what do you think about this West Coast matchup?
After a disastrous post-Super Bowl year, it'll be interesting to see if the 49ers can regain some of that offensive juggernaut they had in 2023. CMC's returning back from an injury, which we don't know how good he'll be. No Ayuk for at least I think the first 8 to 10 weeks they're
Yeah,
saying.
it's like 10 weeks. Yeah.
So Ricky still look for maybe a Pearsall or a Juwan Jennings touchdown along
I
with Kittle.
I think I think Kittle becomes a huge part of the pass game this year. Like the short receptions, kind of simplify things, get back to your groove. I have the same feelings about this 49ers team. I don't know what to expect in this game. I do like a -2.5, and I'll hand it back to you because you didn't get to your pick, but I feel the exact same way about this team.
This same with me. I think the 49ers should win this, but you never know with the 12th man. Just things just get
Yeah,
things
I
get
was a
goofy up
Seahawk
there.
guy when Russ was there. That was my second team. It's definitely not another very hard place to play, especially week one. But a divisional matchup again. This is one where I'd be saying, give me the Seahawks. I do not like Sam Darnold. I thought he was a product of Kevin O'Connell up in that Minnesota offense. Has been shown to plug quarterbacks in and they succeed. So I just can't trust Darnold. If anything, I'm going to have a no play on this one, or it's the 49ers -2.5.
Definitely a tough matchup here. I like the 49ers, though. They're going to cover 2.5. I think so, but we'll see come Sunday. Another good 4 o'clock matchup here. 425 Lions and Packers. Packers at home in the favorite. 2.5 points for them. -140 on the money line. +118 for the Lions. Total at 47.5. Huff, you like Dan Campbell in the Lions here, or what do you think?
This is a very tough game. Packers first game. A lot of people expect a lot from them. Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, the newly acquired Micah Parsons wearing number 1, which I think is going to be kind of cool out there. But I don't like when guys switch numbers, so it's going to be weird at first. But I gotta say, you got to think the Packers win this game, right? Like I think they're now the favorite to win the NFC North. They're at home in Lambeau week one. That place is going to be rocking. A lot of Super Bowl expectations there in Green Bay all of a sudden. Jordan Love MVP picks I'm seeing on ESPN and all over the place in sports media. A lot of people expecting a lot from this Packers team. I think they handle business in week one. Give me the Packers on the money line. Too much unknown again with the Lions. You lose 2 coordinators. They lost a couple players. I'm interested to see how good this Lions team looks without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn.
Beak, what do you think about this matchup here?
It's definitely a hard one to pick, but as you know, as Huff said, the Lions lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, so it'll be definitely be different to see how much of a change it is on both sides. And now with the Packers Super Bowl aspirations with Micah Parsons and Jacobs and Love, still think the Packers win this week one, but wouldn't surprise me if the Lions also won at the same time. It's like a you can't pick which one because either one could win type of deal.
Very good takes there, boys. One of the toughest to call this week, but I think the Packers take it. I think the Lions are not on their high horse like I feel like they have been. Um, but again, another 4 o'clock matchup there that we need some good picks on. So make sure you stay tuned on our Instagram and Twitter for all our picks for all these games come Sunday. But another 4 o'clock matchup here, Texans and Rams. Rams at home as well as the favorite in LA. 3 points for them, -160 on the money line. Texans +135 on the money line. Total sitting at 43.5. Abik, you want to start us with this one?
This one's an interesting game. Obviously, we saw Houston had their problems last year. CJ Stroud kind of declined after a good first year. And they didn't really do much to improve their team. I know they signed Nick Chubb, but we don't know how good Nick Chubb's going to be with Joe Mixon out. Then on the other side, the Rams signed Devontae Adams, which could be a Super Bowl winning move this year. But it all hinges on Stafford, and if Stafford takes one bad hit, that could be a season ender and potentially a career ender, because all summer they were talking about how he was taking epidural shots to be able to get through practice. So it's all hinging on Stafford's health this year.
Heck yeah, boys. Texans and Rams, going to be an interesting one. I think the Rams take it. I mean, not as strong of a team as I was hoping they would come into this season to be, but I like the Rams in this matchup. Huff, did
Did
you
I?
get a pick?
I was gonna say, did I give a take on this one? Sorry, I have a fantasy draft in 25 minutes, and I was looking what pick I have, and I'm fucking pissed. I had first in one, ninth in my second one, and then I have 10th in this one.
Ugh,
I'm hoping to get Genty. That's gonna be my target pick.
heck yeah.
But what are we on? Texans Rams.
Yeah,
I lean on
Texans
the
Rams.
Rams here. I think the Rams get the job done at home. I kind of expect a little bit of a step off from this Texans team, but I'm not going to play a side here. I like the under 43.5. I think despite the two high flying offenses, Nakua bringing in Devontae Adams on the Rams, we know what Nico Collins can do. I don't know what to expect from this Texans running game. I'm going to take the under 43.5. I think this is going to be a surprisingly low scoring defensive game between two good defensive teams.
Yeah, like I said, going to be an interesting one. I like the Rams in this one, but that's going to wrap up our 4 o'clock slate here on Sunday for week one. Let's jump into Sunday night football here. Ravens and Bills. Going to be a good one here. Bills at home, but Ravens are the favorite here. Ravens should just won. Ravens money line at minus 115. Bills at minus 105 total at a high 50.5. Abik, get us started here on Sunday night football, please. What are you thinking for the Ravens and the Bills?
One of my more favorite games of the week, and just got a potential AFC Championship preview. It's gonna be really interesting to see if either one of Lamar or Josh can finally get over the hump. Because as the years goes on, the more questions are gonna come that if they can't win a Super Bowl, that they're gonna start getting doubted. And as we all saw last year in January, it was one of the more thrilling games. I do like the Buffalo Bills though at home, but it should be a close one like the playoff game was.
I agree. I like the Bills at home. I think they start fast. I think Josh Allen's on another MVP watch this year. I think this is the battle of two great quarterbacks with Lamar and Josh Allen. Obviously, I like your Burrow pick for MVP as well. I think there's a good chance there, but I like the Bills at home here. Give me them minus 105. That's at least who I'm leaning right now. This is one of those games where I'm going to watch how this line goes. It could go either way in this tight of one, but right now I lean on the home team. Give me the Buffalo Bills.
Solid picks. I know if Haas was here, he'd be doing the whole "Go Ravens, go Ravens, go Ravens."
Yeah.
But sadly, he is not here today to defend his Ravens. I like the Bills, especially that +1, if not the money line total. I'm not sure, but I plan on having a couple picks on the total here this week. Let's jump into Monday Night Football here. Vikings and Bears in Chicago. The Vikings just 1.5 point favorites. Total at 44. Vikings money line at minus 120. Bears at +100. Huff, start us out with this one. What do you think's going to happen here in Chicago in week one?
I lean on this Bears team to cover at home in the prime time divisional matchup. I lean on the. I'll take the 1.5 plus 100 for the money line. I could see this be close. Save the Bears win the game. They're at home. Soldier Field prime time week one. Bears fans are going to be hyped. This is going to be a big game. Right now, I like this Bears team coming into this game. I'm not big on the Vikings. I got to see it from JJ McCarthy. In this specific game, I think I'm leaning Bears. The Bears.
Beef, go for it. What are you thinking?
Well, it'll be interesting to see JJ McCarthy his rookie debut, I guess, even though last year he got injured. It'll be interesting to see if Caleb Johnson has a career revival with Ben Johnson, because as we saw last year, the creeps and doubts were coming in that if this guy was worth the number one pick. This game is really hard to pick as it's a divisional game at the Bears, but I think the Bears win a close one to end week one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like
Football
it.
is back.
Yeah, football is freaking back. I like the Bears in this matchup real quickly. Vikings, I don't think they're going to be anything special this year. I think they're going to be right around the middle of the pack, personally. But the Bears, I would love to see the Bears do something. Caleb Williams, I don't know. I just like to see them do something special. Soldier Field's a good place to play, so that's going to be a great matchup here on Monday night. But football is back, like Huff said. Lots to look forward to. Anything else to add, boys, for the NFL?
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for joining us, Abik. We can take a little minute here. Thanks for joining us. Reoccurring guest now. You've been on a couple
Yes.
times, handful of times. We're gonna get you back soon, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Heck
thank you
yeah.
guys for having me on.
Send me your picks for this weekend. We'll post them for at least Thursday night, Friday night, and then Sunday.
Okay, no problem. I will.
Yeah, just text me.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Heck yeah. Micah Parsons has been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers in a blockbuster deal 1 week before the start of the NFL season. The defensive end will sign a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Packers. That'll make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league's history on a $47 million a year contract, NFL Network reported. Huff, what do you think about this? Is this a big enough change for the Cowboys or the Packers? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Packers now they were missing that guy on defense to, go get the quarterback. They've drafted a handful of guys. I like Lucas Van Ness up there. They have a couple other pieces on that defense as far as pass rushers go, but getting rid of Kenny Clark in this deal. But you're getting a guy like Micah Parsons, who's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, at least this year, and he has been in the past, all pro player. I think this Packers team went from, maybe we could make an NFC championship to we're competing for a Super Bowl now. We just got that big piece on defense. I mean, we just talked about it. I think the Packers handle business in Week 1 at home against the Lions. I think he's a huge part of that reason, and I think that I expect a lot from this Packers team. From Mackey's Cowboys perspective, we said they weren't going to be able to pay Dak, CD, and Micah. They chose to move on from Micah, which is I guess that's not what I would do personally, but I'd keep a defensive player around. But Jerry said he wanted to stop the run, and
Stop the
then
run.
then he signed a cornerback to $92 million 2 days later. But yeah, I'm interested to see what the Cowboys look like without him. I think it's going to be weird at first, but seeing him Sunday in a Packer jersey is going to be awesome. Not for Mackey's sake. That sucks.
Right. Does suck for Mackey's sake, but definitely a great addition for the Packers. But just, like you said, such an odd move for the Cowboys to make, such an odd statement
In
for Jerry
conference, like a
Jones.
team that just kicked your teeth in the playoffs
Yeah,
too.
right. And Jerry Jones making such an odd statement. Just
He's a lunatic.
he's a lunatic. I don't know what his plan is, where his brain is in the first place, but
Dude, if I was his son, like his son works for the team, I'd be like,
right,
dude, you need to
leave.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't understand what I mean, he
Like
must
half the
love
owners in the NFL, people don't even know who they are because they don't talk.
right, because they don't want to talk.
They don't want that.
Yeah. They don't wanna be the face of shit.
The team, like Jerry likes that. He loves
It's
like
crazy.
he always says when the Cowboys aren't in the news, I'll find something to talk about.
Yeah, that's crazy. What a ding dong. All right. Well, that's all the news that we have in, or sorry, no, we have our preseason power rankings here in the NFL. Real quick here. Coming in at number 5, we have the Green Bay Packers. Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles here playing on Thursday. What are you thinking about these power rankings coming into the preseason or the
Yeah, we
regular
get
season of?
yeah, we get the Eagles on Thursday, the Chiefs on Friday, Ravens, Bills Sunday night football. So a couple of these teams could catch some at least the Ravens or Bills. One of these teams are going to come into week 2 0-1. So yeah, I think it's a great power ranking starting off the season. I think all these teams are Super Bowl contenders.
Definitely a solid list across the board. A lot of big names, a lot of big teams, but we got a whole 18 weeks of NFL season to look forward to. So make sure you stay tuned to our podcast each and every week, our live stream Sunday mornings at 9 or 9:30 a.m. as we go through all the games that we are fond of in each week, as well as all our picks on Instagram and Twitter for every game across us four plus our other uh, regular participants.
Yes.
Guests is a great word. I'm all over the place today. Alrighty, that's going to wrap up everything we have in the NFL. Let's jump over to the college football world here. Week 1 of the college football season came and went this past week. We started the season on the right foot, going 5-1 on our picks this weekend. Again, those posted on Instagram and Twitter, usually an hour or 2 hours before the game. So make sure you check those out. But what a hot start, Huff. Anything to say about that?
Yeah, we were rolling college football. Started things out with Georgia Tech and Auburn on I think it was Friday night. Kept things going into Saturday, going 3-1 on Saturday. Me and Mackie were on some opposite sides of the thing on Sunday. I had South Carolina and Miami, 2 hitters there, and then Monday night had to go with TCU and fade Bill Belichick, and it worked out for me. -3.5. Come on, it was a 48-14 final. UNC jumps out to a 7-0 lead. I know that's one thing we're going to talk about, so I'll end that there. But yeah, great week in college football. Love starting out on the right foot, but it's a long season. Let's see how we keep things going into week 2. I don't love a lot of the games this weekend. I'll start out by saying that there's not many great games.
Yeah, it's a shame. There really isn't. But
The
let's go.
NFL's back, so it's like we can't complain.
Right. You're exactly right. They definitely went not all out, but a lot of good games last week to get us started in the college football world. But we will definitely see more as we keep going through here. But we have a couple review. What are these? These games last week. Okay. We have a couple reviews of the games here last week, but the biggest upset of the weekend was in Tallahassee, where we saw the Florida State Seminoles beat number 8 Alabama outright as a 14-point underdog. We were on Florida State plus 14, but it appeared that Alabama was not ready for this Florida State team. Was this game more about Florida State being back or Alabama being not ready here without Saban?
Yeah, I'm not big on this Alabama team with or without Kalen DeBoer. I don't think he's a good coach. I didn't think that was a good hire. I don't think the roster is as good as everyone's giving them credit for. Preseason number 8, and they go into a road game against an ACC team like Florida State that had 2 wins last year, and drop this one. I do like the quarterback a lot for Florida State. I think Florida State is definitely better than people are giving them credit for. They're a lot better than they were last year. I look for them to, pick up some wins along the way. I think this is obviously a great start to the season. Totally forget that 2-win season last year. You start your season off with a top 10 win at home against a school like Alabama that has the reputation that it does. I liked Florida State to keep it close. I did not think there was any chance they were going to win this game, but Kalen DeBoer slips another one up. He's 5-5, or I saw a stat that he's lost more games to unranked teams than Nick Saban did, and I think it took Nick Saban like 300 some games to lose as many unranked games.
Yeah, it's crazy. Whatever it was, like 10.
His seat is on fire. It
Yeah,
is so hot if he loses another game.
right. Tough. It's so odd seeing Alabama in such a weird spot, like our whole, lifetimes of
Also,
watching college football.
DeBoer has a $70 million buyout. If they
That's right.
fire him, if they're fucking here you go.
Damn.
That's
Smart
the
man.
dream, is be a college football coach and get fired.
Yeah.
And just be like, "Oh shit, we suck. What are you gonna do? Get rid of me?" They're like, "Yeah, here's 70 million. Leave."
See ya.
Like Ed Orgeron said whenever he got fired from LSU, "Where's the door? What door and which way do you want me to go out?"
Crazy. Tough that we haven't seen Alabama in a position like this, at least since I can remember, early
Yeah, it's
2000s type deal. Like,
yeah.
they've just always been on top, and it's interesting to see them not all on top. But another matchup here in week 1, LSU defeated Clemson 17-10 on Saturday night at Clemson. Clemson jumped out to a 10-3 lead at halftime, and after that, it was all about LSU, outscoring Clemson 14-0 in the second half to win the game 17-10. LSU moves up to number 3 in the country after the big win. How far can this LSU team go after this week 1 victory?
We saw Lee Corso pick him as his national champion. Obviously, shout out to the legend Lee Corso at his final college game day this past week. Gave out his college football playoff picks, going with LSU to win it all this year. They have a Heisman candidate, Garrett Nussmeier, at quarterback. They have Harold Perkins on defense, donning that number 7, the coveted 7 down there in Death Valley. But LSU went into Clemson, slapped him in the mouth in the second half. And I'm not big on Brian Kelly, but I think this team is very good. So I'm going to say LSU will be a college football playoff team and could be a top 3 team at the end of the season. What?
What's Lenoris Sellers?
He's the quarterback for South Carolina.
Okay. I was gonna say that sounds
That's
so
the
familiar, but I
that's the kid
never
that I
seen
that's the
it
kid I
written
bet to
out.
win the Heisman.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen it written out.
Yeah, Lenoris Sellers.
What the heck? Okay, whatever.
It's quite the first name.
Yeah, it is. Lenore Sellers impressed in his season debut against Virginia Tech on Sunday. The Gamecocks covered their 7.5-point spread against the Hokies, and Sellers added a rushing touchdown, 209 yards passing, and a passing touchdown to help secure the win. Sellers went from plus 1,900 to win the Heisman all the way down to plus 650. Is Sellers the clear favorite for the Heisman here this year? What an awesome game. But what do you think?
Yeah, that was a really fun game to
Fun
watch.
game
It
to
was
watch.
close till the second half, and then he put that play action play over the top to Nick Harbor. They have a great receiver, great receiving core. I think South Carolina is a team to mess with this year. I like them a lot. I like their defense with Dylan Stewart. I like obviously Lenore Sellers. I have him to win the Heisman at 19-1. Seeing that odds drop going into week 2 has me feeling great about that. But the other guy that I'm worried about that I think has a serious chance at it is the guy I was just talking about with Garrett Nussmeier and LSU. South Carolina goes to LSU in a couple of weeks on October 11th. I think that's a huge game. If the Gamecocks can steal that one from LSU, that would not only be a massive game for standings, but a massive game that Lenore Sellers probably has to ball out in if they're going to beat LSU. But yeah, I'm all over Sellers to win the Heisman. If you didn't get it, it's the odds it was at. I don't know how much value's there because it did take a heavy hit,
Yeah.
over plus 1,300, but I still think he's going to win it. So if you like it, I guess I still like it at plus 650.
Yeah, I think it's still good value, especially we're only through a week, 2 weeks now, you
Yeah.
know? So,
I feel like at this point though, you're better off waiting for someone else to have a crazy game,
yep.
and then they'll jump up and be the favorite for a
And,
week.
and he'll drop down a little bit.
Like if Arch Manning throws for 6 touchdowns this week, he's going to be back in the top 3.
Right.
But they
He does.
also said that game week 1 was so bad that they're like he can't win the Heisman.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
He looked bad.
Yeah.
Terrible. I mean,
I don't think it'll be that bad, but that's also
right.
that's a crazy game to start in Ohio at Ohio State.
Yes.
Your first start of the season, first road start of your career in Ohio State against a number 3 team defending national champion. Not
Right.
an easy task.
Yeah. For real.
I think Texas will be fine.
I think you're correct. But let's chat about Bill Belichick here in the UNC Tar Heels. They had a rocky start to their season after starting the game up 7-0 with a touchdown on their opening drive. They were outscored 48-7 after that to lose the game 48-14. Is this going to be a long season for Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels? Huff, what do you think?
Yes, it looked like if you would have seen the stat, the quarterback for North Carolina did not complete a pass for an hour and 42 minutes real time. From it was some point in the first quarter till some point in I guess that would have been the third quarter. I don't even know, but their offense, they looked great on the first drive. On the first drive, it was like North Carolina could win the national championship. After that, it was holy shit. This is going to be a long season.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough one to watch. Jordan down on the sidelines,
That's
up in the
crazy that she's
box.
on the
Yeah,
sidelines, dude.
dude, it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
I've
Uh,
never seen a coach do that ever
y-
during a game.
It j- it just screams that he doesn't give a shit. And I'm not saying he doesn't or does or does or doesn't, but like it just screams so wrong. Like that he just, I mean, or he just has UNC by the balls and is like,
Yeah.
hey, I do what the fuck I want. But
Yeah, if
good
you
for
want me
him.
here, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want.
But holy moly, dude! Like separate business and pleasure a little bit.
Or there's a crazy side of me that could see him start doing shit like this to get fired and get bought out so
Yeah,
he can go be an NFL coach again.
yeah. No, I mean that's sadly a
There's his
not a
deal
shark.
though is heavily incentive based because they figured he's gonna quit at some point and go to the NFL. They're like, we're basing your whole contract on incentives because we don't even
Right,
think you're gonna be. They didn't even think he was gonna start the season with him after taking the
right,
job.
right. I forgot about that. Oh man,
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
yeah,
I think they'll still win games. Like the ACC is not that good. Like they're
right,
gonna get wins, but that team doesn't look good.
yeah. Well, let's take a look.
Quarterback looked terrible.
Yes, he did. That was just a tough game to watch. I mean, I didn't expect him to lose that bad. How's that?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
didn't either.
All right, let's look ahead at week 2 of the college football season. Go over a few games on the slate to keep an eye on. Huff, what games were you looking at go
Yeah,
over?
there's a couple good ones this week. Let me pull these up. Hold on. I know Michigan, Oklahoma, that's a rank versus rank. My phone is like frozen here. Give me a second. I think Iowa State was another one I was looking at. Yeah, Iowa State ranked 16th at home. That's Saturday at noon. I think that's where big noon kickoff is going to be, and then college game day, I believe, is going to be in Oklahoma, in Norman for Michigan, Oklahoma that night at 7:30. So two good games, two at least games that are good to watch. So keep an eye out for any plays this weekend. Couple big dogs going up against some little schools. I do like to eat up on those spreads sometimes. So I'm already eyeing up Texas. I think it's minus 37.5 against San Jose State. So keep an eye out for our plays. 5-1 last week. Looking to keep it going this week.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff. Let's jump into the MLB here real quick. We just have our power rankings here this week as we continue closer to the MLB playoffs as we enter September here. Coming at number 5, we have the New York Yankees. Number 4, the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 3, the Chicago Cubs. Number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers. And number 1, the Philadelphia Phillies. Huff, what are you thinking about these power rankings here for this week?
Yeah, Brewers starting to lose a couple games here. I mean, a lot of these top teams aren't. No one's on like a real crazy streak right now. I guess you could say the Yankees sliding back into that picture, but like you said, playoff baseball right around the corner. Football's back, and not many people want to hear us talk about baseball right now. But you got the playoffs coming up, and we're moving into mid September, early September here, so we have just about 3 weeks left in the season. A lot going on in the wild card picture. Keep an eye out for any MLB plays we have going out there, but football's back. People want our picks in football. They want to know what we're taking in the NFL, what we're taking in college football if they're starting 5-1. I'll get you some first touchdown picks out, even if I'm not putting them on my card. That's where I like to make my money in the NFL. But Other than that, I think that's it. Football's back. It's in the air. I can't wait for this weekend, starting out tomorrow night. Tonight, when you're listening to this with Thursday Night Football. Um, let's send them off, Jess.
Lots of good stuff there, Huff. Thank you very much. Thanks to Abik for coming out with us this week. Make sure you stay tuned for our live streams here on YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, all over the place, so you can get your picks for Sunday, as well as on our Instagram and Twitter. All of our picks will be posted there for each of us here on the show. So make sure you stay tuned for those. Make sure you have post notifications on, but I think that's all we got. Anything else to add before we get out of here, Huff?
I think that's it. Hit the books.pod, hit the books.pod on Instagram, hit the book sports on TikTok and YouTube. Give us a like, follow, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. We'll see you Sunday morning. Get you some official picks out for some NFL games. Stay tuned for our picks on Instagram and Twitter for college football. All of our Thursday night picks going out in the NFL. Thanks for listening. Leave us a like, follow, share, subscribe wherever you're listening. We appreciate it. And we will see you Sunday morning for week 1 of the NFL season.